Man, I really hate that Call of Duty starts you with the worst pistols. I mean, who uses these things? It's all right, there's supposed to be a weapon cache somewhere close by. Now remember, we've got proximity chat, so if someone's close, they're gonna hear us talking, so we're gonna be a little bit quieter. All right, here we go. MP5, nah. Ooh, PS90. Nah. Ah, AUG. I like it, but too loud. What is this? The M4. All right, gotta find ammo. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Gat Cat Till, and today we are taking another step into the NFA world where we bring to you kind of some gray areas that we talked about earlier, and this one in particular is pretty neat. So overall this looks like a very tiny package because, well, frankly it is, and if you actually look at the length of this thing, it falls into SBR territory. This is a 10.5 inch fluted, I might add, 5.56 barrel with a tucked in suppressor. Now, what makes this system and package in general unique is that it doesn't actually qualify as an SBR. Now, I know that everyone's freaking out these days, mainly around the amnesty registration coming up for SBRs, the pistol brace debacle, and what's going to constitute as, well, essentially being an SBR when we say it's not. So that's where this guy comes in. This is the YHM Integral, yes, I said Integral, upper, mounted on my semi-famous FRT lower. Now, we did take the FRT out. Again, FRT doesn't exist in this realm right now. We are moving away from that while all the legal battles continue and the hot water continues to stir. But nevertheless, we've went ahead and adapted a LaRue MBT2S flat trigger, which is probably one of the best two-stage triggers you can get for the money. Highly recommend it. You guys can check them out over at LaRue. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the Integral upper from YHM. So this guy has what is essentially a turbo to mount it and pin welded directly to the 10.5 inch barrel. This generally gives it an over 16 inch length, which kind of makes it not an SBR. So if you actually read the definition of what makes an SBR versus a pistol, it talks about the total length of anything that is permanently attached to the barrel. So by taking just a regular suppressor, which this is nothing special, it's again just a regular YHM 5.56 can, but by taking that suppressor and permanently pin and welding it to the barrel, you've created a system that is no longer considered classified as under 16 inches. So as such, this is a 1 stamp, 2 stamp gun. Now, don't make fun of the optic too much. I forgot to bring an optic today when we were doing this, so I just kind of threw this on last minute, actually pulled it off the AUG. But nevertheless, the big important factor that I wanted to talk about is, 1, how does it sound? 2, how does it cycle? Because this is kind of a custom gas system. When you purchase a gun like this, or you purchase an upper like this, you're getting an entire package that's already pre-tuned for the gas. And with that means I don't have to worry about an adjustable gas block. I don't have to worry about if it's gonna run. So we're just gonna try it and see. So what we're gonna do today is we're going to fire a few rounds using this exact system. down into the berm. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to go ahead and swap out to a full auto lower, and we're going to go ahead and see how it handles full auto to make sure that we still don't have any cycling issues due to any undergassing or anything like that, and just give you the better picture of how this thing functions and how hot the handguard does get. Although I don't have a temperature meter out here, you'll see me either not liking how my hand is or shifting my hand. That'll be your indication. But nevertheless, guys, we've fired this a few times already. It's fairly hearing safe, but we're going to wear the ears just in case because it is a loud system. So let's go ahead and find out. All right, guys, so what we're shooting today is just some PMC Bronze 223. Nothing special, nothing too hot, but you know, I didn't want to do anything too hot because I do want to see how it does with a little bit lower pressure round. We know 5.56 suppressed. It's always going to cycle. Sometimes 223 though can give you a little bit of trouble. So we're just going to take a couple shots at 50 yards and we'll see if we can get on target. Again, not the optic for this gun, so this is not zeroed, but it's pretty close. So we'll find out. All right, so hopefully you guys were able to see the brass ejection patterns, and we'll slow it down a little bit and kind of look at it in the video to see how it goes. But now that we've confirmed how it works with the semi-automatic mode, let's shoot in some dirt with some fully auto and see just how it cycles. All right, now, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and throw this on a full auto lower, complete with the third hole and the giggle switch that we're allegedly not allowed to have, for those that remember. But again, we're out here, we've got an SOT and a manufacturer present, so we are completely in the clear to do this just before anyone comments to say, well, how could this guy do it? But nevertheless, all right, so got one in the chamber. We're gonna go ahead and do a function test on Simi since we just installed this lower. See how she does. All of a sudden my zero feels a little bit off, but again, wobbly optic, and we're gonna shoot in dirt. Anyway, all right, now that we know that everything's good, let's go ahead and see how it ejects on full auto. Woo! That's always so gassy. But we've got last round bolt hold open. We've got a fairly warm handguard, but it's not too bad. But guys, this is a unique situation for you to be able to get a 2-stamp gun for only the price of 1 stamp. You just need to file your Form 4, which is going to include the entire upper for the serialized part, which is the suppressor, so it will file as a suppressor. And then you don't have to worry about filing for a Form 1 to be able to turn it into an SBR, because again, guys, pin and weld it means that we're completely able to have a 16-inch total length without worry of the ATF shooting our dogs. So we're gonna do one more comparison video, so let's take a look and see how it compares to the guns that we showed you earlier in bullpup form, and then 2 additional SBRs, the PS90 and the MP5. So let's go look. All right, guys, so the last comparison that we're doing is we kind of want to show you what it looks like when we're comparing the Integral, which is again a 1-stamp gun, it's fully suppressed, with some of the other options when you look at 2-stamp guns or when you look at bullpups, which is another way to reduce your overall package size and still maintain a 1-stamp gun. So here, again, the YHM Integral upper compared to the SBR PCC, the MP5. And then we have our little guy, which we're not gonna touch. I mean, this is a bullpup and an SBR, so it's gonna be the smallest package available. And then what was actually surprising is that when you look at the AUG from Steyr has a 16-inch barrel in its bullpup configuration here. And honestly, it looks like it may be just a touch shorter. Yeah, it's just a touch shorter. So it's actually a little bit more compact of a package. But again, this is a specific gun. This is a bullpup. They don't suppress the best. We'll talk about that in another video, but because they have this piston at the very front, we get what's called piston pop. It's ironic because while I was out hunting with my buddy, he was using his SCAR. It also has a piston system. And as soon as he shot, I was able to understand that was exactly his gun, because you hear the loud ting from his suppressor, but then you hear the pop that comes at the piston pop at the end. So again, different beast, but for an all-in-one package, guys, it's really hard to beat this. Again, this is the YHM Integrally Suppressed Upper. You can get it for less than, I think, $1,100 if you shop around a little bit. I think Family Firearms had them for like $812 not too long ago, which is way below the MAP. But nevertheless, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. This is the new style of content that we're going for. If you have any questions about the YHM Integrally Suppressed Upper, and yes, I know that the integrally suppressed is kind of reserved for when you have a ported barrel with a sleeve that goes over it. The guys that call it integrally suppressed, so we're going to call it integrally suppressed. But if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments section. I'm also going to link to a full review that was done on this gun by Top Shot Dustin, so you can find that in the link in the description. So go check it out there. Maybe there's some questions that he answers that I didn't cover. But again, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any additional requests for content, let me know. Otherwise, we'll catch you later.